Snapper!
Snapper! Snapper! We got a new addition at the garage. Check this shit. This here is like a rubber thing. So when you open the door, instead of smashing it into the concrete like I've nearly done 100 times, look, you can rest it fully open. And that extra space there is a major key to get in because it's incredibly hard to get down into these fucking things. I also put 2 up for the Jeep. I haven't told you yet, babe. I had to put 2 up because the back door is higher than the front. That's Jeep being jealous of the Lambo. Snapper, you ready for it? Let's do day 3. Question of the day, number 3. This is it, and it was asked by everyone. Your new black car. Is it really yours, or is it a finance? Does the bank own it? That's usually the way most people ask it, right? It's financed. Of course it's financed. Finance. Why would you buy something with your own money when you can buy it with someone else's money? First part of the mini lesson, we got to break this middle class addiction to ownership, that we want to own everything. We got to own it and buy it with our own cash. Using your own money to buy things is stupid. I only do it if I absolutely have to. I don't even buy my breakfast with my own money. I swipe a credit card and I get the Qantas points. Why would I use my hard-earned savings to buy overpriced avocado and toast? I use Amex's money to buy the breakfast. I get the points, I get the free flight upgrades. I fly first class everywhere. It's free. Now, that's not an invitation or a suggestion to go and spend money that you don't have. That's stupidity. But don't use cash when you've got so many perks and benefits to using other people's money. There's a video about this on my bloody YouTube channel. Go and look it up. It's, what's it called? My credit card lifestyle. It's on my YouTube channel. Go and look at it. I explain all the numbers. With my American Express card, I get 1.5 points per dollar that I spend for flight upgrades. Going from economy to business class or economy to first class, I can cash them at 6 cents per point. This essentially gives me a 9% saving on every single thing that I buy. I'm 9% better off on every purchase compared to the guy standing next to me buying with cash. So you think when I go and buy a $500,000 car, I'm going to buy it with my own money? Fuck no. I'm going to buy it with someone else's money. Of course, that's crazy. If you're in America or the UK and cars are a lot cheaper where you are, I'm not just inflating those numbers to sound better. In Australia, things are very expensive. As I understand, you guys in America can get a bloody Aventador for under 400. That's crazy. If you're an Infinite Prosperity student of mine, you already know this. Don't buy things with your own money unless you absolutely have to. Use other people's money. OPM. This here is the employee mindset. This is the bloody calendar. They save their little bit, they work, and at the end, they blow it all. Constantly working their ass off, saving a little tiny bit, maybe, and then blowing it on a holiday or a vacation because they need to get the hell out of it. Here's a wiser strategy. If you're in the workforce, if you're working, if you've got an income coming in, save and invest. Save and invest. Get your money going to work for you. If your money isn't working for you, you will be working for your money until the end of time. Until you fucking drop, you'll be working. Went to the pub a couple of days before I picked up the Lambo, and there was some people there from my past talking shit, sort of behind my back. Obviously, you find out when people are talking stuff, right? Part of the conversation was debunking my success because the car wasn't really mine, it was financed. And I thought, silly peasants. So, let's talk numbers. Let's talk about why it's better not to use your own money. If people say it's better to buy with cash, they're not investing. They don't know how to invest. For the sake of this lesson, I'm going to completely exclude FX trading. FX trading gives us the potential to make a much higher rate of return, but not everyone can FX trade. I'm not going to even be talking about sophisticated investment strategies. I'm going to give you some numbers based on an index fund, buying one index fund. Here we go. Here's one, VFINX. It's a Vanguard 500, S&P 500 index fund. What do we got here? 5-year returns were averaging 16%. 10-year returns, 7%. So let's work with 7% returns. And keep in mind, that's conservative. That goes through 2008, negative 37%, global financial crisis. The long-term average is much higher. Let's assume that you're not the full box of chocolates and you don't care for investing and you elementary grade putting your money into an index fund, 7% a year. So let's assume that you start doing pretty well. You want to tick off a childhood dream. You want to go and buy your dream car. You can borrow the money to go and buy it at 3.9%. If you're in any other country on earth besides Australia, it's even cheaper than that. I think Amy, when she got her R8 in America, she financed for 3.1, correct me if I'm wrong. Now, when you buy a depreciating liability like a car, it's going to go down in value. Everyone knows that. Whether you buy it with cash or you get the finance, it's going to go down in value, that's a constant. But when you use other people's money to go and buy the car, when you get a loan, you got an added cost on top of the depreciation, you got to pay the interest off too. Borrow 500 grand at 3.9% per annum interest is going to cost me $19,500 per year in interest. But if I decide to go and buy it with cash, then I have to sacrifice this investment, $500,000, even if it's only being invested at 7% per annum. That would be sacrificing 35 gorillas a year. Who the hell would sacrifice 35 grand a year just to save 19.5? I'll tell you who. The middle class, who have no idea what the hell they're doing. And it gets better. We haven't even talked about compounding. When you make 7% per annum, then you make 7% on 7% on 7% on 7% every year, it compounds. But when you get your finance and you fix interest rate 3.9%, every year you're paying down principal. Every year you're paying less and less interest because you're paying 3.9% on an ever decreasing principal. So you invest your money, you get your 7%, you compound it every year, and you borrow the money, and you have reverse compounding on the 3.9%. In fact, over the 4-year loan term, you get all your interest repayments, you divide it by 4 to get your average interest repayments per year, you divide it into the initial loan, it's under 3% on average. Under 3%? Fuck, did I mention that 80% of that interest repayment's tax deductible? Where the fuck wouldn't you go? Why would you buy something with your own money? Don't buy things with your own money unless you absolutely have to. Some things you have to, most things you don't. Use other people's money. If you are going to have a car, finance it. If you are going to have a house, rent it. Keep liquid, keep mobile, keep nimble. Build your income. If you're in the job and you want a second income stream, learn to trade. Learn to trade. Learn to trade FX, learn to invest. If you don't want to do that, provide value. Come up with a product or a service, something that you can give to people. Help them, serve them, love them. The more people you help, the more money you make. And finally, don't listen to people in the middle class about financial advice. You don't take advice from a fat ass about how to lose weight. Don't take advice from a broke ass about how to get rich. That concludes my Lamborghini finance lesson. If you enjoyed it, let me know. I appreciate all of the bloody replies. I read them all. I get back to 95% of them. Oh, and hey, one more thing. I want to talk about when there would be a point in time or a particular thing that you want to buy that you would buy it in cash. You wouldn't need to fuck around getting the finance. My general rule of thumb is 1%. If it's 1% or less of your liquid net worth, just get it with cash. It's not point fucking around getting the finance. So if you're good for $1 million, it's $10,000. So you go get your Rolex. No point fucking around. You got $1 million liquid. Don't muck around getting finance for a watch. If it's a car, like a $500,000 Lamborghini, you want to have 50 million before you start thinking about buying it with cash. That's my rule of thumb. That's not a hard and fast. At this point in time, I don't have fuck you money. I don't have 50 million in the bank. So that's why I got the finance. If I had 50 mil, Fred just would have got it with cash.